Welcome back to the Nordic Football Podcast, and we're here to talk about fantasy football. And obviously, the conclusion of the Allsvenskan is done, and this was the Nordic Football Podcast League we set up at the start of the season. The top four is Good Vibes by Albin Johansson, Neeps versus Swedes, Ian Reid, he was third, led the league for quite a while actually. Gerardo Lopez Lojada, second place with a team called Por Don Guillermo, and Jimmy Schlitzing with BK Hissingen. He's won the league, 2016 points, and actually I think was something like 12th overall out of anyone in the whole of the whole fantasy contest. Down, if you want to where me and Jonathan are, I was 17th and Jonathan was 21st, so I beat Jonathan this season in Allsvenskan fantasy. But well done to the top four.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit gutted about that in hindsight. I had about 15 weeks probably where I didn't even really check my team too much, which in hindsight I'm a bit disappointed about because I can't have myself losing to Eusti. This is just not good enough. I only played one of my 3 chips this season as well. I played my double captain on the last day, but yeah, key mistakes. I think I'd put my, if I was an Allsvenskan team, it would probably, I think it'd probably be Örebro or Elfsborg. No, not even Elfsborg. I think it was a Helsingborg kind of season for me. Just didn't really do enough.
This was his
maybe
team
even Kalmar. Maybe I'm the Kalmar of the Allsvenskan.
You're not as bad as Kalmar. But yeah, this was the team for BK Hissingen on the last match of the season. So points everywhere across the field. A couple of Malmö players especially doing well for him there. And then obviously Kacin Iklic was the captain, a good captain choice there. So yeah, well done to Jimmy on winning the Nordic Football Podcast League. It's, as I say, a fine achievement there. And we're going to move on to Allsvenskan Eliteserien fantasy now. And this is the Nordic Football Podcast League there. I'm just going to get you the screenshot as we get there now. Stream. Here we go. Can you see that one, John? We are there with FPL Graphics currently leads the way. Grand Flakes in second, and I'm third. But I'm not gonna finish in the top two here unless I have a monstrous last few weeks. So there's still 3 rounds left of Eliteserien fantasy, and I have to say, like I said, I've been really impressed with the quality in this league. I think FPL Graphics and Grand Flakes there in the top 10 overall, which is a fantastic achievement. So maybe I might be able to give them some late tips on how to improve their position.
Should I even ask where I am, Steve? I mean,
well, I don't think you kind of didn't you just sort of forget about this league mid-season for something? Yes. Where are you? You're not even. I have to go on to the next page here.
Got Curtis Baker there. Another Brand Flakes. Phil Carville, 58.
You can't be this far down. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, football.
Oh my goodness.
71st. But there's people below you.
Well, I'm not in the bottom of the table.
So
I'm in the bottom 10.
I mean, it was your first year at Eliteserien fantasy, so I think we've got to give you that, haven't we?
Well, Corey O'Brien, Knut Moen Selu, Alejandro Diaz, Ulrich Tallyhaug Sidnes, Adrian DH, Hafid Ziri Morocco, Christian Touroy, Jordan Winter, Isaac Leones. Your boys took one hell of a beating. The other 70 teams in the league.
I'm not really sure what happened here with Ziri Morocco, unless he joined the league really late.
Where is our good friend Neil? I've got 1,200 points here. Am I going to catch him?
Well, Neil Baxter has been a great friend of the podcast. I think has had a pretty solid season. I'm trying to find him, actually. There he is, 19th in our league, Bergen Brit FC. And I know he's been very much enjoying the season, his first season in Eliteserien fantasy. I know a lot of people have enjoyed it, actually. And, he's pretty solid position for him.
Looking at who should we be backing? With 4 games remaining.
Yeah. Well, there's three match days are left, and I've still got my attacking chip left. I played the attacking chip the last round in the Allsvenskan. If anyone's got that chip left, I would fully recommend they wait till the last 2 rounds, because the last 2 rounds in the Eliteserien, all the matches kick off at the same time, and you will be able to find out the lineups. I mean, obviously the deadline is an hour before, but you'll probably get the lineups come out about an hour and 10 minutes before, so you can find out who's starting in these games. Think about motivation. I mean, Mulder might have won the title by then, so they might not start Lecky James. They might not start some of their big stars. You've got to really look at soft matchups. And I can tell you, it happens in every league, doesn't it? The last 2 weeks, there's always some really massive hammerings when you kind of least expect it. It's a question of picking them out where you can. I mean, Tromsø Stabæk there. If Tromsø need to win on the last game of the season, I could see them racking up 3 or 4 goals. It really depends on the situation, who's going well and who's not. So really, I think you've got to do it round by round. You can't just say, I'm going to pick this person for the next 3 rounds, because say motivation might change. But this particular the last round before the next international break, I would say a soft matchup. Tromsø, I think, I want a team to look at the moment. Maybe Runar Espejord up front. I could see them doing a job on Vålerenga there. And we're looking at Molde, Strømsgodset. Molde just need 2 more points to win the title, so they're going to want to put on a show there. Strømsgodset are fighting against relegation, but I would think Molde players would go well. And you think about the teams that need the points, like Sarpsborg. I captained Carl Lafferty today, and he didn't score a goal, but he hit the post and he had an assist. And they're starting to look good again. It's really, you've got to look at each match individually. But I would definitely save any chips you've got until the last 2 rounds, where you know exactly, or you should know exactly, who's in the starting 11. So you're not going to get any surprises with late injuries or surprising bench players.
What about Rosenborg assets, Steve? Because I noticed, they've got, I think, Bodø Glimt at home, and they're still fighting for European players.
Yeah, you're right.
Only 1 point off it. Are they worth maybe investing?
Well, they've got Ranheim away at home on the last day of the season. Now, I think by then maybe Ranheim might be relegated, and Rosenborg, desperate to finish in the top 3, will probably need. And that's the sort of game that they might actually hammer them. So you look at their strikers, Bjørn Mars Johnson. I think I've seen a lot of people pick him in their teams, and he's definitely worth adding, perhaps, because he looks the most in form of their strikers right now. Could have had a hat-trick on Friday night against Strømsgodset, hit the post, I think, once. He looks the most in form there. In terms of their defence has let me down all year. I've had a couple of their defenders, and they can't keep clean sheets for whatever reason. It just hasn't happened. I mean, watch now. If I get rid of them, then they'll probably start keeping clean sheets, won't they? But I mean, I think you've got to look more midfield and attack. Again, see who's starting. Adig Benro, don't ignore him if he's in the lineup. Akintola's had a good run. But yeah, I'd say Bjørn Mars Johnson. I know a lot of people have already cottoned onto him, but certainly for the last the 2 home matches they've got, he may well fill his boots.
Fascinating stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be, it's too late for me now, I think, but I'm going to be looking at Rosenborg maybe. I think they might have a strong end to the season. Are there any assets, who are the top scoring players in these?
Yeah, here we go. I mean, the goalkeeper, Sandberg at Stabæk, he's been superb. They've kept 5 clean sheets in a row. And I've had him half of the season. I didn't really get him quickly enough, but I've stuck faithful with him in the last few weeks. He's been superb. Ivan Usbo at Viking has had a tremendous year. Honestly, I didn't rate him one bit before this campaign. I mean, this is a bloke who was making errors in the Obos again, for crying out loud. But he's been quite solid. I think it might be a one-off season for him. I don't want to piss on his bonfire or anything, but I just can't believe he'll keep it up consistently. He just had a very good season there. So, yeah, when I do my team of the season, he sadly will have to be in the reckoning for goalkeeper of the year. But, so those 2 goalkeepers have been miles clear of the rest, really. In defence, I didn't even know this Stabæk player, Hans Olsen, got in the top 5 ranks for defenders. But obviously, he must have had a lot of clean sheets recently. Christoph Siche at Christiansen, the main reason he gets so many points is because he scores goals. Absolute menace from set pieces. And obviously, Håkon Evjen has been a monster. He seems to get, look, if he has a half-decent game, he gets so many bonus points that, 172 points is huge, isn't it?
I think I've had him in my team since day one, actually. That's the only thing I've done this season, to be honest. I had him in my team from the beginning.
I think same here. He's been
really 4.5, wasn't he, at the beginning of the season?
It was ridiculous. I mean, we can find out what his history was. I think it was less than 5 million.
Yeah, it was about 4.
Astonishingly. Let's see what his price was. First day, 4.5 million on the first day of the season.
4.5.
And now he's worth 6.7. I mean, basically, you have to have him in your team. Otherwise, you're knackered, aren't you? Philip Zinkernagel, he's a popular pick for Bodø Glimt because he's a midfield. He's listed as a midfielder, but he's often played as a striker. So, those sort of players.
The Wolves in there, Wykram.
Yeah, he's tailed off though. Second half of the season, and someone mentioned this a couple of months ago that this has happened before when he's at Malmo. Whether or not he's got the physique to last the whole campaign. I mean, he's been injured recently, but if you look at his points, is the last time he picked up double-digit points. In fact, the last time he picked up more than 6 points was match day 15, which is quite a long time ago. Most of his point scoring was in that first, 15 rounds where he was absolutely superb. But he's tailed off.
The top strikers?
The top strikers, I'm guessing it'll be, Turgil Berven, who, I've got to be honest, he's a player I got completely wrong this year. And we'll talk about this at the end of the campaign again. But, he has delivered far beyond what I expected and what most people expected of him. 163 points. His form's gone off a little bit recently, mostly because the team itself's gone off. But and then obviously Mulder, Ohi, and Lecky James have been pretty evenly matched. Yeah,
really good stuff. I think I've got Oliver Ossian there somewhere in my team, but as I said, 71st place. It's not been a great campaign for me on either front. So, 2020, I'm looking towards the SM Gould in 2020 now. But congratulations to Jimmy Stichting and the top 2 in Norway, if you can hold on to it. I think that pretty much is the end of the show for now. Yeah. Djurgården are the champions of Sweden. It is Djurgården season 2019. They are the kings of Sweden. They take the crown. They are the team to beat. Congratulations to any Djurgården fans. I'm sure you've probably got sore heads right now. You're probably, hungover at work maybe, or you've had definitely a few beers. It's been a great season for the Djurgården and fully deserved. And I'm really happy for the Djurgården fans who do listen to the show. We'll be reviewing the season in Sweden in general in a later pod to come. Looking at maybe the wider overview of the season and drawing some conclusions on the 2019 season. But there are still 3 rounds in Norway, which we will be back for. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us. And if you like the show, tell other people about it and spread the word for us. We are the #1 English language football podcast for Sweden and Norway. So keep it tuned to the Nordic Football Podcast. Steve, it's been a great season. I've really enjoyed it. From a Swedish perspective, I think it's been one of the best seasons, most competitive seasons for many years. And always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. So I think that's pretty much it from me. And goodbye to everyone. And, my name's Jonathan Faduba. And you're Steve Wyss. And we're on Twitter at MeatmanSoccer at JFFootball. And thanks, everyone, for another great show.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.